Hello and welcome to Mile High Reefers. I'm Scott Anderson, and this is
Ian.
And Ian, what should our video be on today?
Reef Aquarium Starfish.
The first starfish we're going to look at is probably the one you all have in your reef tank. It's the mini brittle star. These guys are tiny and they reproduce in your tank. They're going to come in on corals or your live rock or just about anything. In fact, they're probably unavoidable in your tank. But they do a great job at getting into little tiny cracks and eating detritus or things that are floating in the water column. And now we come to the Asterina Stars. And these guys are actually a reef pest. For the most part, they're benign, where they'll eat algae like coralline or green algae. But there is a species out there that eats coral. And you really can't tell them apart just by looking at them. The problem is these guys are almost impossible to eradicate from your tank. You can reach in and you can pull every single one off, but they reproduce so quickly that you'll never get them all out of there. So I've given up trying to eradicate these guys. I've never had a problem with them eating coral, so I just let mine live in my tank. Now for something a little more fun. The bigger brittle stars that you actually purchase for your tank are awesome because they eat detritus under rocks. What sucks about them is they completely live under rocks. So all you're ever going to see are a couple little tentacles sticking out. They're mainly nocturnal and they actually come out. But for the most part, they're going to find a rock, they're going to live under it, and they're going to keep under that rock clean. So any detritus that goes under it, they're going to eat it. They're also going to stick their tentacles out and kind of filter feed off of anything in the water column. They actually do a really great job of keeping under the rocks clean. The downside is you just really don't get to see them very much. Like brittle stars, serpent stars live under the rockwork. They're constantly looking for something to eat, so they're going to be scavenging for anything they can find. This makes them an awesome member of your cleanup crew. They're going to keep under your rocks nice and clean. What's really cool about these guys is they look like a little octopus. And they actively search out food. When you add the meaty foods to your tank, they will actually come out and try to find it. So you're going to see these guys every day at feeding. That makes them really cool in my book. I got my Serpent Stars and Brittle Stars from Live Aquaria about 3 years ago. They've been really hardy, really healthy. They were about $7 a piece. They're awesome scavengers, and I highly recommend these guys as a part of any cleanup crew. Sand Sifting Stars are great because they spend their whole day searching through their sand bed. They're looking for the food or the waste that's fallen into the sand bed. They'll eat that and they're going to break it down even more. So they are an awesome member of your cleanup crew. They also look really cool and they're fun to watch. They'll be moving around your tank. They'll even climb up on the glass. These guys are far more athletic than they look. So I've had mine for about 3 years. They've proven to be very hardy and they're relatively inexpensive. So if you got a sand bed, these guys are great for sand bed maintenance. My favorite starfish I keep are the Blue and Red Linckia Stars. The starfish you're looking at now is under heavy blue light, but I will admit over time the colors have faded a little bit. I got these two about a year ago from Petco, and I have never seen another two like this. I've searched the net, I've looked in the local stores for the last year. I've never seen another two Linckias like this. So I think they're really cool. They're red, they're blue, they have the white spots on them. They're almost like the American flag. They're really cool. The downside is nobody really knows what Linckias eat. At least that's the research that I've been able to find. It's theorized that they live off of bacterial colonies. So I've limited my Linckias to these two, as I don't think I can replace them, and as much as I'd like to get an orange or a blue Linckia star, I hold off because I really want to make sure there's enough food in the tank for these 2 Linckias. When I bought them, I was afraid they weren't going to be reef safe, but here we are a year later and they've never touched a coral.
So thanks for watching, and do the comment if you like this video and thumbs up the video and subscribe, of course.